All right, so hello everyone. A good morning, a good afternoon from wherever you are joining in from. Can we hear me clearly? Hello, can we hear me clearly? All right, so before we start, before we become all serious with today's session, I want us to do a little exercise. I want us to do a little exercise right now. So I want to know, is this your first masterclass session? And where are you joining in from? So hello everyone and welcome to today's session. I am Esiogena Brima. I'm a senior data associate at Analytics. And today we are going to be learning a very, very important concept as a data science professional. All right, give me a moment, let me pull up my slides and then we can proceed. So before we get all serious, as I mentioned before, I want to know, is this your very first masterclass session? Guys, are we excited? I need more responses in the chat. So we have like a lot more persons that will be joining us for today's session. But before then, I want us to have like a soft landing. So I can see Onyeka from Abuja. I can see Cecily from Sierra Leone. Guys, I need more responses. So iPhone is saying my first time. I need more responses. We are like 23 on this call. Okay, so let's see. I think you can hear me clearly. So Obaleke is saying this is his first time. Guys, I need more responses, right? So remember I mentioned that we're going to be learning a very, very important concept in today's session. And we have an amazing professional that will be joining us. All right. So let's jump right in. So I can see Eno from Wari. I can see Abdul from Turkey. I can see Agivie from Just. Welcome everybody to today's session. And let me mention, avoid all distraction. Why? Because you're going to be having a professional that will be coming to educate you on how you can leverage Excel for demand forecasting. Okay, so I want you to be able to learn, because that's the reason why we are having this masterclass session. That's the reason why you are on this call, because you want to do it, because you want to acquire knowledge that is relevant in this age. So I can see responses in the chat. I can see Abayomi from the UK. I can see Austin that says he's an old timer. So Austin, welcome. I can see Enyo from Worry. And guys, we are going to be having an amazing session on this call. So let's jump right in. All right, so today we are going to be dealing with a topic that involves leveraging Excel for forecasting. So we'll be treating a real-life demand forecasting on this call. Now, the big word, demand forecasting, it's very, very important in terms of business planning and business development. So it basically just involves predicting future customer demands for either a product or a service. And as a data science professional, this is a skill that is necessary for you to have. Okay, so let's paint a scenario. Let's say, for example, guys, you work with a multinational organization that deals with, let's say, the sale of gadgets, laptops, phones, and the rest, and they want to plan for the next quarter of 2024, right? So they want to know the demand. They want to know, oh, what is going to be the quantity of their products that will be ordered? What is going to be the demand for their goods? So you, as a data professional, you would do what? Forecast for this organization, and this helps them in terms of what? In terms of their production planning. So if they know that, oh, in this particular quarter or in this specific period, we are going to have what? An increase in demand. It will help them in making what? Informed decisions. Remember, your main goal as a data science professional, is to be able to make informed decisions based off what your data is communicating, or based off the data that you have. And yes, this session is extremely beginner friendly. So I say all the time, even if you have no prior knowledge, right, in Excel or in data science, that is why we have this masterclass session. And that is why you are here, because the reason why you are here is because you want to learn. So you being deliberate and intentional in attending this masterclass is already like a first step towards learning. So guys, as I mentioned before, I really want you to listen and follow along in today's session. I want you to avoid distractions and learn. Okay, so moving forward, who we are at Analytics. So I saw like some comments in the chat as regards this being your first time. I saw some old timers like Austin. Okay, so it's nice to have you on the call again, Austin. So who we are at Analytics, our sole goal, right, is to ensure that Africans, the Black community, they are represented in the tech industry. That's just it. Okay, so now, if you stay to the end of the session and you fill the attendance form, you will get access to all of the materials utilized in this session. Okay, so I want you to calm down, be patient, avoid distractions, and be ready to learn. So that's the only thing you need for this session. And yes, it is beginner friendly. Okay, so I can feel the enthusiasm already. Remember, I said we have an amazing professional joining us for this session. So I want you to be patient and be ready to learn. Okay, so coming back to my slides, our sole goal, right? Irrespective of your background, even if you read English or economics or probably agriculture or any other career or any other undergraduate degree that is unrelated to tech, right? So our sole goal is to ensure that we effectively help you transition from having no prior knowledge, emphasis on no prior knowledge in the tech industry, right? So you getting that skill, right? So you getting that knowledge. So I can see a lot of persons are beginners on this call. Trust me, you're in the right place. Okay, so I am emphasizing on what? Just have like an open mind, ready to learn. I say this all the time. There's like a mental approach to things, right? So if you tell yourself this is going to be so complex for you, it's going to be like, but if you tell yourself, oh, I'm in the right place, I am going to be intentional and be patient and be deliberate about learning, trust me, with the right guidance, you are going to fly. Okay, so now, and we do this by a variety of courses such as data analytics, business analysis, data engineering, data science. While we're on this call, we'll be learning a specific technique in data science and financial analytics, HR analytics, Scrum Master, and then the cyber security program. Okay, so and now we have facilitators, we have professionals, right, with seasoned experience coming to teach you, coming to help you transition, right? So these are professionals that have gone through this process, through the struggles of transitioning without guidance, without knowing what to do. All right, so now we've curated a structured learning approach for you to be able to transition, that give you a soft landing and ease your movement into the tech industry. So guys, I need a one in the chat if you're still here with me, if you're following. Okay, so I need a one in the chat if you're excited, if you're ready to learn, if you are ready to leverage Excel in demand forecasting. Interesting. I need more responses, guys. I need more responses from us on this call. I want to know that we are ready. Come on, come on. I need more responses. I can see from Dennis, I can see from iPhone, I can see from Onyeka, I can see from Zainab, I can see from Abdul. I'm loving the energy so far. I'm happy that we are ready to learn. All right, so moving forward. All right, so now if this is your very first masterclass, right? Or if you've attended any of our masterclass sessions before, I believe you have met the founder of Tenality. So if you have not, you're meeting him in my slides today. So this is Adeza Suleiman. He's the founder of Tenalytics. And the interesting thing is he did not have a background, right, in the tech industry, and he was able to what successfully transition. So through his experience, through his struggles, right? So that is why we at Tenalytics, right, we are passionate about what helping you with no prior knowledge transition effectively into the tech industry. And he has close to a decade experience in the data industry. So you know that you're not just dealing with beginners, you're dealing with professionals that have gone through this process, right? And they are being intentional about helping you, right? You that you are doubting, you that you are scared that will I really be able to do this, right? All you need to do is to have an open mind and be ready to learn, and you'll be good. Trust me. Now, moving forward, the amazing professional we'll be having on the call this evening, guys. So this is Efemina Igbo. He's the co-founder here at Analytics, and he has a wealth of experience from data analytics to data science to data engineering, and also in terms of Power Platform development. So, guys, right, when I said that you should avoid all distractions, this is the part where you need to be focused, right? So have like a pen and a notepad and be ready to learn because you will be learning a lot. All right. So now moving forward to what we'll be doing in today's session. So first thing, leveraging Excel for demand forecasting. Now I mentioned in terms of demand forecasting, they are basically just what? Predicting future customer demand for either a product or service. Now you see this in detail via the real life case study that we'll be working on in today's session. So now I'm reiterating, I need you to avoid distractions and listen, because that's the only way you would learn. Now moving forward, right? We'll be talking about the pathway to becoming a data scientist. So now you've known one of the techniques in terms of forecasting that is applied by data professionals. So now, how exactly do you learn other aspects? Do you acquire the knowledge that is required for you to be a data science professional? Then we'll be discussing about what our 10 Analytics Growth Internship Program, because people would want to know if you are capable of forecasting, right? So if you have like a track record of projects that you have worked on, if you have like a track record of experience that you have worked on, and that is why our 10 Analytics Growth Internship Program, right, was established. Okay, so you guys are a beginner. So before you jump out, or before you get into, will I say, the ocean, right? So you get what? You get to work on real life scenarios, right? You get to experience, oh, what exactly am I going to do? How am I going to approach a certain business problem, right? How am I going to get an understanding of the issue on the context that we are trying to solve, right? So now that is the emphasis of our 10 Analytics Growth Internship Program. All right, so now moving forward, we'll be discussing about what? Success stories of our students, and also our special discount. So guys, remember, I want you to listen. All right, so moving forward, at this point, I will be calling in the amazing professional we have on the call this evening. So hi, Efimina, how are you doing? Hello?
Fine, I'm very good. Thank you very much, Verma. Um, thank you very much. Yeah. All right. Wonderful introduction. Thanks for taking our time to do that. It's honestly very interesting. I'm excited also to be here.
All right.
All right. So I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen and we'll take
Yeah.
it up from there. Okay. Okay. All right. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about my experience, just because I feel like it's sort of like a motivation for most people looking to getting started in the tech space. So Brahima has done, yes, she has done a fantastic job, reading out the things I've done. And she also mentioned the fact that I started as my degree, my first degree was in economics. It wasn't anything tech related. All right. And my first career from university was, being a management consultant. So I got a job as a management consultant, working in consulting, basically just, working with businesses and, coming up with strategies, HR strategies, management strategies, and all that. So it wasn't really core tech, okay? But, I looked at it, okay, we're going to be looking at forecasting today. So what I was looking at when I was working as a management consultant was, down the line, okay, if I pursue the line of a consultant, it's probably going to take me another like 4 or 5 years, right? At that point in time, for me to get into the senior management level, which is that level where I can earn significantly. But obviously, why do I want to wait 4 years, 5 years? All right, in some cases, 6 years, okay, in order for me to transition, in order for me to get in the big box, all right, to earn more money, all right, to have that career fulfillment. Okay. So at that point in time, I started to look at, different roles I could actually pursue. And, it was Forbes. I was reading an article on Forbes that mentioned that data science was going to be is the sexiest job of the future. All right. So myself and Adeza, that's myself and Adeza, we found out 10 analytics. We looked at it and we're like, okay, do you know what? Let's pursue tech. Okay. So we started learning. All right. And it took us about 2 years in order for us to transition into our first role in the tech space. Okay. Our first ever role. It took us about 2 years. We're still working as consultants and learning by the side. And it took us about 2 years for us to transition. All right. To get the job that we're looking out for. All right. One key question we kept asking ourselves, okay, was should it have taken us 2 years to get our first job? Should it? And the honest truth was no, no. It was a capital no. It shouldn't have taken us 2 years to get our first job. All right. And the reason why it took us 2 years was because we lacked so many things. First of all, there was no structured learning. Okay. So today I'm learning Python. Tomorrow I'm learning Power BI. The next day I'm learning MongoDB. The next day I'm learning SPSS. So things that were not relevant to my career growth, things that were not things that you're reading several articles online and everybody is saying this is the next best thing. All right. I remember this day vividly. All right. I was reading an article, okay, from Medium. Okay. And somebody was talking about how NoSQL is replacing SQL. So, I was like, okay, there's no need for me to learn SQL anymore. Let me go and start learning, NoSQL. And I was learning MongoDB. And I spent another couple of weeks trying to understand documents, graph, database. You know, I was just learning, in a very unstructured manner. All right. So you see, that's another 1 month. I won't say wasted in my career growth, okay, but it was absolutely wasted because I never needed that in order for me to get started. I never needed it to get the first role of looking out for. So you see, those kind of things are what we have packed up together, okay, to say that how can we help more people? You know, not you don't need to spend 2 years trying to get into the tech space. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today. So that's my story. And after that, honestly speaking, it has been great. I've worked across different organizations. Currently I work more as a data science contractor for core businesses in the UK, US, and also in Canada now. I just moved to Canada, so that's why I do currently also in Canada. All right, for working fully remotely for different businesses in the UK, US, and also in Canada, like I mentioned. Prior to that, I've led different initiatives for businesses in the UK, in Ireland, and also in the US. Okay. And that's my experience so far. But the key question why I needed to tell you about my background is very simple. Okay. I did not study all these things in school. All these things I'm doing currently, all the things we're going to be talking about it now, you'll see some things that you remember from secondary school, from university. And now you'll not be like, okay, this is the reason why we used to do this thing. All right. But you never knew this is why you needed to do it. All right. So that's exactly what we're going to be looking at today. Okay. So Rima has run through the things that we're going to talk about today. So I'm not going to waste too much time. So this session is going to be maximum 2 hours. Okay. Maximum ridiculously 2 hours. So I just need 2 hours of your time today, guys. All right. And we're going to be looking at demand forecasting. So, and before we go into that, okay, there's something I usually like to tell people to sort of motivate you, okay? It always seems impossible until it is done, until somebody else takes up that initiative to say that, oh, I want to do it. I want to take that bold step to take it, all right, to do it. It always seems impossible before you start anything, okay? Before you start anything, it always seems impossible. If you want to take a walk now from Yaba to, let's say, Lekki, or you want to move from one location A to location B, you want to take a walk, a 2 hour walk. Before you do, the main work is you getting started, you taking that first step. Once you take the first step, the next one, it kind of looks like, okay, yes, I'm getting closer. And that's usually like the hardest work, you taking that first step. And now, people that have taken the first step with us, you know, are the ones reaping the benefits of it now. Now, these people don't remember a couple of months ago, they were without a job, without visa sponsorship, without a job that they don't like. Now they're doing a job that they like. Okay. And this is Tony, and I will also play, post it also. Now, Tony landed the job in the UK as a benefit analyst, okay, working with the NHS, fully sponsorship. Okay, going through the analytics program, she was able to achieve this. And I'm just going to play Tony's own. I think it's just about a minute or thereabouts.
Let's say I'm working on a research paper.
All right, I'm just going to quickly play that for you. All right, so you can listen to Tony.
My name is Tony, and I recently got a job as a benefits analyst in the UK. I've come from a medical background as a pharmacist who is interested in, breaking into tech. My first encounter with analytics was on LinkedIn. I joined one of their masterclass, just one masterclass where Efemina spoke, and it just took that masterclass to convince me. I joined in August, and a month after, I got a job. To be honest with you, every information skill that I was able to apply to get that job, I owe it to Tenalytics. Tenalytics did a great job and is still doing a great job. They groom you and nurture you from the cradle to you become confident. So my advice for you, most importantly, is join. Be integrated into a platform that empowers you and allows you to easily get that first job.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, and that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. So you see, she just attended the master class, just the same way you attended the master class. All right, she started in August last year as a pharmacist, no prior experience. So you see all the things, what we're telling you, she has no prior experience working as a data analyst, as a benefit analyst, as an analyst in any sense. She was a pharmacist. You heard her saying, all right, and she was able to transition. From August, she got a job a month after she started the training program. So you see, all these things are things that a lot of people don't believe they can actually do. And that's why I say it always seems impossible until somebody does it. Okay. And we'll also have Oluwatosin. I'll play Oluwatosin, later on in the masterclass. So you can learn from his own story. Okay. And these are guys getting jobs. All right. Jobs that, ideally you feel like it's so difficult to get. There are no jobs, there are no jobs. But people are getting these jobs. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today. Without wasting too much time, I'm just going to jump straight into the main case study. Now, I'm going to be talking about this case study today, and this is a real life experience. This is a real life case study. This is one that I personally worked on. All right. And that's what we're going to be exploring today. Now, like I mentioned earlier, so I've worked with quite a number of organizations, either working as a freelancer or working as a contractor or working full-time employment. All right. So my experience has spanned different aspects from data science to data analytics to data engineering to power platform development to a whole bouquet of roles that I've actually handled in my experience. Now, this was one that was based for a company based in Germany. Okay. And essentially, what do they do? They are a logistic company. Basically, it means that they're a third-party logistic company. Okay, in a sense that the goods, like all these vendors, when you buy stuff online, take for example, you buy a product online, DHL will be the one to deliver. Or, all those people that drive bikes in Nigeria at this point in time that drive bikes that deliver. So they don't sell the products themselves. They don't sell the products. They basically just, there is a customer or there is a business that sells the product. So whenever they want to deliver, they come to the company to say that, okay, this particular package is going to this particular address. Please deliver this package. So they don't own any product. Okay. That's Send It Now. I've adjusted their names anyway. Okay. So you really can't know the business. So it is called Send It Now. Okay. That's what the name in Germany, obviously. Okay. But they're based off in Germany. And that's what they do in Germany. So they deliver for top high end, they deliver for literally anybody. Okay. But their major clients are the likes of Nike, the likes of Adidas, the likes of Amazon. They deliver for Amazon, they deliver for all the well-known brands that you know of, like that offer online sales and all that. Okay. So, they deliver for computer businesses, Dell, HP, they deliver laptops, they deliver literally everything, honestly speaking, third party. So any business that wants to deliver parcels across Germany, okay, both locally and internationally, all right, they use Send It Now, okay? So it's a very big business, very large business, and they do a lot of numbers, okay, in terms of deliveries on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, all right? So they do all these deliveries. Well, you see, the company is faced with a particular challenge, and we're going to talk about that particular challenge now in a second. Okay. So the company is faced with a significant challenge in managing its logistics, okay, and ensuring the timely delivery of parcels. Now, let me explain this to you. Right. Now, these people, their mantra is deliver next day. Deliver next day. So if the package, we call it parcels, okay? Parcel, package, they're the same thing. All right. So if the parcel gets to them, okay, if the parcel gets to them, today is 18th, okay? So let's say you order the product on Amazon, okay? Amazon delivers to them on the 18th. So if you go on Amazon, for example, Amazon will tell you exactly, all right, if you book or if you purchase this product within the next 2 hours or in the next 30 minutes, in the next 14 hours, whatever it is, okay? if you purchase this product within this hour, we would deliver the next day. So that's exactly how they're able to achieve those kind of, achieve those kind of feats. Okay. So if your parcel, you order within a time frame and it gets to send it now, the business, today, 18th, they must deliver it tomorrow, the 19th. Okay. They must deliver it tomorrow, 19th of February. Okay. That's the way it works. That is their mantra. Okay. But you see, this particular mission was hijacked. Okay. Was hijacked because you only can prepare, you can only prepare for what you think you can do. Okay. All right. So if they think they've been doing about 10,000 parcels, they've been doing about 10,000 parcels every day. On average, they've been doing about 10,000. If all of a sudden, okay, they get about 25,000 to be delivered the next day, it's going to be very difficult for them to achieve for them to finish up 25,000. Okay. So they've been doing 10K on average every single day, 10K, 9K, 7K, 6K, on average, they do about 10K. So they're able to achieve this. Okay. But let's say one day something happens and they get 25,000 parcels. They're likely they definitely will not be able to achieve. They won't be able to achieve they won't be able to deliver all the parcels, all the 25,000 parcels. It's going to be very difficult for them. All right. And that is the problem we're facing because it's not just the parcel that they're working with. They're working with warehouse staff. They're working with people working in the warehouse. Okay. They're working with the drivers that will deliver these parcels. All right. They're working with IT staff that are on standby. Okay. In case there are issues with location and so on and so forth. There are also, other employees, all right, in the pipeline. Okay. That ensures that when things are supposed to be delivered, they are delivered. So if normally they do about 10,000 and all of a sudden they get 25,000 parcels, all right? So I'm just going to mute everybody so that we don't get this feedback from anybody else. Apologies. Okay. All right, sorry about that. All right, so essentially, okay, if they all of a sudden just get 25,000 parcels, it's going to be difficult for them to know how many warehouse staff, warehouse staff do we need to do the work? How many drivers are going to be available to deliver 25,000 parcels? So normally, if they use 10 drivers for 10,000 parcels, okay, all of a sudden they get 25,000. And maybe these 10,000, these 10 drivers, maybe that's a stretch for them. That's like a stretch. Okay. They can do 10,000, but it's a stretch for the 10, drivers. All of a sudden they get 25,000. You see, there is a problem there already from the start. So you see, being able to forecast that, okay, tomorrow we are likely going to be doing about 25,000 passports, the ability to forecast, the ability to say that, oh, this week we're likely going to be doing about 100,000 parcels this week. You see, the business will be able to know how many staff should come in, will know how many drivers they need that week. They will know how many IT staff should be on standby and any other resources that they need. They will make it available in order for them to be able to achieve 100,000 parcels packages that particular week or month or whatever the case is. All right. So forecasting is a very essential part of any business. And this business was suffering, or not really suffering, but they had a very big challenge because they wanted to deliver their parcels the next day. That was their mantra, so that they can attract more customers, they can attract more people. All right. And that's exactly what we talked about. So currently, the current process, the current things that they're going through, the lack of forecasting led to several operational inefficiencies, including allocation of resource, inefficient resource allocation. And that's what we talked about. How many were if you're currently in the UK, you're currently in any other European country, you know that they need warehouse, people working in the warehouse. Okay. So if because of this volume fluctuations on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, all right, they don't know how to efficiently allocate resources, warehouse staff, drivers, and so on and so forth. And obviously, because parcels are not delivered on time, customer dissatisfaction. So if normally you're supposed to receive your parcel today, okay, your parcel is supposed to come in on the 19th, okay? Now you're getting it on the 25th. Okay, that's a red flag. You will likely not use that service anymore. All right. And you know, most times when you order for something, there's this excitement that comes with it. Okay, I'm getting my parcel tomorrow. You know, sometimes you don't even sleep because you want to get your parcel. You're excited to unbox it and all that. Okay, so imagine that excitement for the next couple of days. Okay, in order for you to see it after 6 days. You see, that's what we call customer dissatisfaction. So also increased operational cost, okay? Increased operational cost in the sense that, you know, normally you've been doing 10,000, all of a sudden you're doing 25,000, okay? Because you didn't prepare for it, most times you spend more money, okay? Because you wanted to, if a driver tells you, oh, I cannot do this, okay? You're likely throw money to the problem to solve the problem. We'll pay you more. We'll pay you more, deliver more time, overtime will be paid for. Overtime, you will likely spend more money. So this business was actually spending more money, all right, in the sense that, drivers were delivering parcels on a per hour basis. Okay, there were so many issues. Basically, they were spending more money, customers were dissatisfied, inefficient resources, allocation of resources, and so on and so forth. So that was the major problem with this particular business. So what we're going to do now is we're going to build a forecast to help this business, we're going to build a forecast to help this business identify what products or what parcel, what the volume is going to look like on a weekly and a monthly basis. Okay. So without wasting too much time, you get access to the slides. So you get all the materials to the slides, everything that you need. Okay. So once you click on the button here, you will get the data set that we are using for the case study today. All right. So I'm just going to go ahead to open up my Excel sheet. Okay. All right. So this is the data set. Okay. This is the data set. And we're using Microsoft Excel. And truth be told, the first time I had this experience, I used Excel to build their forecast for this business. Okay. I used Excel, Microsoft Excel. So a lot of people feel like Excel is a sort of a redundant tool that people don't get to use as often as possible. And it's very fun because majority of the guys getting, their experience in data science usually start off with Microsoft Excel for predictive analytics, forecasting, and so on and so forth. So that's what we're going to look at today, okay? Essentially, okay? So this is the data, all right? And you see the dates column, and you see the order demand. That's basically the deliveries. So on the 5th of January, 2015, this particular day, they delivered 600 parcels. Another person delivered another 200 parcels. This one was 75,000 parcels. On the same day, different deliveries. Okay. On the same day, 5th of January 2015, they had different deliveries across different parts in Germany. And this is exactly what the numbers were on that particular day. On the 1st of January 2015, another set of deliveries, okay? 25,000, 30,000, 90,000. So all scattered across Germany, okay? And also, they do both local and international. So everything mixed up together. This was their total demand, okay, for that particular day. So they needed to know ahead of time, how many parcels are we going to be doing this week, this month, this day, whatever the case is. All right. So you see another one. So the data is basically on a daily basis. This data that you see here is currently on a daily basis. All right. This is an actual real life case study on a daily basis. Okay. All right. Okay. So essentially, the next part of what we're going to be talking about now is now it's on a daily basis. Well, obviously we can't do a for not like we can't do it on a daily basis. We can't do it, but we'll get to that. Okay. Okay. So when you're doing your forecast, you don't want to start forecasting on a daily basis. All right. It's really not going to be very efficient for you to do that on a daily basis. All right. So what you want to do is aggregate it either on a monthly or on a weekly basis. Okay. So you can either aggregate to say what is going to be happening every week or what is going to be happening every single month. So you can either aggregate on a weekly or on a monthly basis. So what we're going to do now, first thing, I'm going to teach you what to do, okay? So I'm first of all going to convert the data set into an Excel table. So I'm going to I'll be putting the steps here, step 1, okay? So that whenever you get your materials and you're watching the video, you'll be able to do the same thing. So step 1, convert data into an Excel table, okay? All right, so this is supposed to be data, sorry. Okay, convert data into an Excel table. Okay, so what I'm going to do easily is click anywhere inside the data. So I have only 2 columns in here. So I'm going to click anywhere. Okay, I'm going to click on Home. All right, and you'll see Format as Table in your Excel. Everybody has this in theirs. Format as a table. Click anywhere in the data. Click on Home. Format as Table. Click the drop down. Choose any color of your choice. I'm going to go with orange because obviously it's 10 analytics. So I'm going to just select this orange one. But you could use any color. It's just color formatting, nothing special at all. So I'm going to click on orange and you'll see it here. Create table. Where is the data for your table? My table has headers. Ensure you're ticking this because my table has header. Date and order demand. Those are my headers. Date and order demand. All right. So my table has headers. Tick the box and click on OK. That's all you need. So, and that's exactly what we have right here. Okay. So now with this Excel table, that's step 1. Okay. Step 2, okay, I'm going to do what? Aggregate, okay, extract, let's say, extract month. Let's start from the first one. Year, month, and week, okay, from the date. All right, extract year, month, and week from the date, okay? So you see the date column here. From the date, I can extract the year. From the date, I can extract the week. From the date, I can also extract the month. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So the first we're going to look at is how can we get the year, okay, from the data sets. Okay, that's the first we're going to be looking at, the year of the date. Okay, extract the year. We're also going to be looking at how we can extract the month. Okay, all right, press enter. And last but not the least, we're going to be looking at week. Okay, all right. So we have the year, we have the month, and we have the week. Okay, so we're trying to do our forecast, and our forecast essentially, we are not looking at it on a daily basis just yet. We're going to be looking at it on either on monthly basis or on a weekly basis. Hence the reason why we're doing it on a weekly basis. That's why we're trying to extract the week and also the month. Okay. So we can either do it on a monthly basis, forecast on a monthly basis. Oh, next month our volume is going to be 2.5 million. Okay. Next month our volume is going to be this number. Okay. We can do the forecast on a monthly basis or on a weekly basis. Okay, week 1, we're going to do this. Week 2, we're going to do this. Week 40 something, we're going to do these numbers. These are our numbers on a weekly basis. Okay. All right. So let's start with year. Okay, so let's extract the year from the date. So we're going to say equals to year, okay? And I'm going to click on the date, all right? And I'll close the brackets and I'll press enter. And this will extract all the year, just the year. I just need the year. I don't need the date. I don't need the order, okay? Order demand. I just want to extract the year, okay? For the month, I'm going to say equals to, there's a text function in Excel that allows you to extract the month from the date. So equals to text, open brackets, click on the date, okay, comma, quotation mark, then I'll put M 4 times, close the quotation mark, and close the bracket. So this formula, okay, essentially allows you to extract the month from the data. The formula you're looking at the post to text, the date, and you're extracting the month. All right, hence the reason why you're using M 4 times. Okay, all right, and I'll press enter, and it give me the month. Okay, January, and you see there. If I scroll down, or let me just click the drop down for you to see. Okay, see that's February. I just said February just now. All right, but I'm just going to go to the top anyways. Okay, so if I click the drop down now, you see April, August, December, basically January to December. You can see it here. Okay, so all the months have been extracted from the data. Year, what about year? Okay, so we can see we have 2016 and 2015 data from 2015 and 2016. Now, week. All right, there's a function in Excel called week now. All right, week now. Okay, that's week number. Okay, the week number. So I'm just going to click on date and I'm going to close the brackets. And that's it. So the week number for the days. So you know every week in the year, how many weeks do we have in a year? Let me test people currently. How many weeks do we have in a year? How many weeks do we have in a year? 52. Fantastic. All right. I can see some people are following me. That's good. That's good. All right, 52. Fantastic. All right, so week long, open bracket, the date, and I'll press enter. All right, and you see it there. Okay, so if I click the drop down, you'll see 1 all the way to 52. So some months, some year would have 53, some will have 52, all right, depending on how the week starts. So some week will start from so if your week starts from last year, maybe it starts on a Wednesday, for example. That's another week. That was from coming from last year. So to count it as week 1. And there are ways you can work around that anyways to achieve your 52 weeks. But this is just the first time we're doing this, so I'm not going to bore you with that. Okay. So essentially, it's between 52, 53 weeks, depending on how you work it out. Okay. So we've done step 1, convert it to an Excel table. Step 2, extract the month and the year, month, and week. Okay, from the date column. All right. Now the step three is to aggregate. Okay, aggregate data. Okay, aggregate data on either a monthly or weekly basis. Okay. All right. So we're going to aggregate the data now. The data, the order demand. We're going to aggregate it on a monthly or on a weekly basis, depending on what your preference is. Okay. All right. And we're going to be using pivot table to achieve this. We're going to be using this. We're going to be using pivot table. Okay. We're going to be using what we call a pivot table. Okay. All right. Give me a second. I'm just going to reduce this so you can see it in full. All right. Okay. So if you're following me so far, put a 1 in the chat. If you are following me so far, just put a 1 in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat if you're following me, so we can. I know people are following me. Fantastic. All right. Great stuff. Great stuff. Great stuff. All right. Let's go. Okay, so the next thing is to aggregate the data. This is their total demand. This is what they are doing on a daily basis currently. Okay, so one thing I'll tell you from experience, you forecasting right from the start on a daily basis is not going to be so. It's actually not going to be very accurate. Okay, you're not really going to get a very accurate result. Okay, all right. So what we're going to do now is to aggregate it either on a monthly or a weekly basis. I will show you how to do it. Okay, I will show you how to do it. So now, what we're going to do, all right, because we're going to be working with pivot tables, okay, I like to rename my table, okay? I like to rename my table. So earlier on, the first step was to convert the data into an Excel table, okay? All right, so now I'll click anywhere inside that table, anywhere inside the data that I've created, click anywhere inside, all right? Then click on pivot table, the table design, okay, you would see table, the table name. So I'm going to change it from that to send it now. Send it. I'll just say send it. Okay. So I changed the name of the table from table 2, which was a default name. I changed it from table 2 to send it. That's simple. Nothing more than that. So I'll press enter and that is it. Okay. All right. So now I want to create a pivot table. So easily what I'll do is click on insert and click on pivot table. Now you see it here, select a table or a range. Now this is the reason why I told you, leading you back to step 1. convert the data into an Excel table. Select a table or a range. So in order for you to work with a pivot table, in order for you to create a pivot table, that will take you back to step one. You should have created a table from your data set. Okay, convert the data into an Excel table. So what I'm going to do right here, can anybody tell me what I'll write here now? Table/range. So what's the name of our table? Can anybody remember the name of the table I gave? The name of the table. So I gave it a name. Let me see people. So what's the name? Send it exactly. So I just use send it. That's the name of the table. Send it. Okay. So that's why I gave the name of the table. And that's all I need to write. So once I click on insert pivot table, I click on pivot table. I have the table/range. I will just type in the name, send it, and I'll click on OK. And that's all I need to do. And you see my pivot table is there automatically. Okay. It comes in. Sorry, just give me a second. I want to move this to the side a bit so I have enough space. Okay. Okay. All right. So this is my pivot table. Okay. This is my pivot table. So now what I'm going to do, first thing is I'm going to take the year. I'll drag the year. So the way you guys used to drag people on Twitter, come bring that energy back in this place. Okay. Bring the energy. Yeah. So this year, I'm going to click on it and I'll drag it to row. So now I have 2015 and 2016. Okay. Month, I would also drag month to row. So now you can see it now. I'm going to zoom out a bit so you can see the full table at one glance. Okay. Zoom out one more bit. Okay. So you can see the table at one glance. Okay. So you can see this is me aggregating the data on a monthly basis. So all I need to do now is order demand. I'm going to drag it to values. Okay, I'll drag it to values. So now you see, this is exactly what we mean by aggregating the data. Okay, this is what I mean by aggregating the data. So currently, it was on a daily basis. The data was on a daily basis. Okay, so in order for us to work with our forecast, okay, in order for us to build our forecast, we can either aggregate it on a monthly basis. So you can see it now, 2015, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. This was their total demand. Okay, this was what the total deliveries they did on a monthly basis in 2015. This was the total, forecast. This was the total actual demand, actual deliveries they did in 2016 on a monthly basis. Okay. Now, the next thing, if you want to do it on a weekly basis, it's the same thing. You could actually just drag it down, week, bring it in, and you see it here. Now, this is on a weekly basis. So week one in January, they did about 119, that's about 1 million orders. So let me just put a comma there so I can easily read it. All right. So see, January week one, they did about 1.1 million. 2nd of February, the second week in 2015, they did about 30 million. Third week, they did about 22 million. Fourth, they did about 24 million. And you can see it here on a weekly basis, the total deliveries on a weekly basis. Okay. So just because of the session, like I mentioned earlier, we're going to be just doing 2 hours. Okay. So I won't want to take too much time doing on a weekly basis. So I'm just going to do on a monthly basis. Okay. Which is a bit more concise and easy to understand. Okay. All right. So this is what we have here. Okay. So I'm going to do a little bit of adjustment to the data to this pivot table. Okay. All right. This is what we're going to be working with. Okay. All right. So step four would be, create table, create data that will be used for forecasting. Okay. Create data that will be used for forecasting. Okay. So now that's what I'm going to adjust. I'm going to adjust this pivot table, okay, to the data that I would want to use for forecasting. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, click anywhere inside your pivot table, click on design. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I don't need this total. I don't need the total. All the totals that you see here, it's useless because I want to forecast what's going to be happening on a monthly basis. So I don't need the grand total. I don't need the grand total. I don't need the subtotal. I don't need all this total. So I'm going to take it out. So you see subtotal, I'm going to don't show subtotal. So it takes it out. I don't need the subtotal. The grand total also, get out of here. I don't need it. Okay? I don't need the grand total. I don't need the grand total of what I'm going to do overall. I'm forecasting what I'm going to be doing on a monthly basis. Okay? So the next thing also, report layout. I'm going to convert it to a tabular form. I want a table, not the way it looks like at the moment. You see what I'm talking about in a few seconds. So report layout, I'm going to change it to, show in tabular form. Going to click on that. And you see now this looks like a table. It now looks like a table. Okay. So rather than having them cascading, now they look like a table. Okay. The last thing I'm going to do is click on report layout and repeat all items, all item labels. So you see here, it is empty. Over here also empty. So what I want to do now is fill it up with 2015 over here. Over here, fill it up with 2016. That's all I need to do. So report layouts, you see, report all item labels. Okay, click on that, and voila. Now you have an actual data set. You have the monthly data sets that you can use for forecasting on a monthly basis. All right. If you're following me, let me see your hands up in the air. Put your hands up in the air. Put your hands up in the air. So if you've learned something different, let me see so far. Fantastic. All right. All right. Don't worry. You don't need to raise up your hand. I know there are no questions just yet. Okay. I'll take questions later. All right. Fantastic. You can just use the emoji. Use any emoji. Don't worry. I'll know you're following me. Okay. All right. So that's exactly what we're looking for. So you see, the beauty about data science, data analytics is the ability to make sense of data. All right. The ability to make sense of data. So you see, this data was like this initially. Okay. And most people wouldn't know how to transform it from this level into what we have here. All right. Okay, but that's not the end of the work. Oh. This is just literally we just doing data transformation. This is just literally data transformation that we're still working on. The real forecast is what we're going to do next. Okay, all right. So I'm just going to copy this, copy, Control C. All right, to copy, Control C to copy. We're all familiar with that. Control C to copy, and I'll open a new table, a new sheet. All right, I'm going to zoom in a bit, and I'll paste. Okay, I'll paste as values. So just right click, it's as simple as that. So right click anywhere, right click, and sorry, I'm going to copy it again, it has gone. Control C to copy. Come here, right click and paste as values. I'm going to click on that, the one that has 1, 2, 3. Paste that. Why isn't it pasting? Sorry, I think I'm the one. All right, fantastic. So I have the year, I have the month, and I have the sum of demands. Okay, so in January 2015 January, this was the total demand. 2015 February, this was the total demand. 2015 March, this was the total demand. 2015 April, this was the total demand. So this, I'm just going to change the name to total demand. Okay. Okay. All right. Total demand. I'm going to change that to total demand. So currently, pivot table will give you a sum of order demand. Okay. That's what pivot table will give you because we did a sum. Okay. All right. So I'll just change it to total demand in my new sheet. So the first thing I'm going to show you is a visualization. I'm going to do a visualization of the data. So when you're doing forecasting, step 4, let me just put it here for you. Step 5. Okay. Step 5, move data, move clean data to a new sheet. Okay. Then step 6, all right, is what? Step 6 is what? Visualize the data. So visualization and forecasting 5 and 6. All right, visualization of the data 5 and 6. Okay, so let's go back to our data sets. Okay. So once you have the data set like this, Okay, once you have the data set in these formats, let me just put a comma. So let me just put a comma so that we can read the numbers easily. Okay, so 2015 January, we did 104 million deliveries. If you doubt it, I would want you to work with, a majority of the third-party logistic companies, even companies in Nigeria. You'll be surprised in terms of number of parcels that they deliver, not revenue. This is an actual parcel they deliver. So if you're working with the likes of Jumia, for example, okay, Jumia does delivery. Yeah, I think Jumia has their own delivery services. Okay, you find out that on a daily basis, they can actually deliver more than 2,500, 5,000 parcels. All right, from small, medium, from air to shoe to bag to earrings to different orders that people are placing on a daily basis. So if you doubt it, if you doubt demand, now imagine you're a major distributor for the likes of Amazon, Nike, laptops like Dell, HP. You're a major distributor for them. All right, people order on their platform and they use Send It to deliver those parcels. Then you know that it is very possible for us to be doing we're doing over 1 million. All right. Sometimes even on a daily, weekly basis, not just locally, but internationally also. All right. So, anyways, long story short, this is what they did in January 2015. This is what they did in February 2015, so on and so forth. All right, total demand, total deliveries. Okay, that happened. All right. So now let's visualize. Just click anywhere inside your data, anywhere inside the data. Okay. I'm going to click on insert. I'm going to click on the visualization. This is a line chart. I can select any one of my choice, and I'll just go with this one here. Okay. All right, and that's it. So better still, let me just go with highlighting the data. Okay, insert this. All right, so this is what we have here. Okay, so you see, this is the total demand. Now let me ask you something. What is the current trend? What do you think is a trend? Are they increasing or is it reducing? Is it positive, negative? I'm not going to ask you if it's positive or negative for a start. Well, looking at this visualization, do you think it's increasing? Do you think the volume is increasing or decreasing? Let me ask you. Looking at what we have here, looking at the total demand, is it decreasing or it's increasing? Okay, Speedstar says decreasing. Speedstar says decreasing. It's negative. It's decreasing. Fantastic. And it's very simple to know. All right. So if this is your first time and you're looking at the visualization and you're wondering, how is this thing decreasing? All right, it's very simple. Look at the highest point over here. So when you look at it, look at the highest point, okay, and look at the last point, okay. You will notice that it has been on a steady decline, okay. It's been on a steady decline from the start, January 2015, okay, to December 2016. It's been declining. So volume in 2015 was over 100 million. I mean, they did over 100 million. How many times? 1, 2, 3. They did it about 3 times, okay, in 2015. But you see, ever since then, 2016 like this, the only time they got to almost 100,000 was sometimes in March. Let's take a look at it. March 2016 was 93 million, okay? They did about 93 million. And that's it. So it's been like that, declining over time, 2015, 2016, I mean. Okay. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about in the next few minutes. So you could obviously you could use there are ways you could actually work this out. Sorry, I'm just going to delete all these my visualizations, my inscriptions. Okay, I have a pen here. Okay. All right. So now the next thing we're going to look at, we have the visualization. Okay. So for those guys that, beginners that you're not sure, the visualization itself has a trend line. Okay. So if you're not sure about the trend, the visualization itself has a trend. So once you click on this plus icon, you see trend line. So click on trend line. Voila. You see the trend line. You see it is going downwards. You see it is going downwards. So basically that's a decline. The trend is going downwards. So there's been a reduction in delivery, number of parcels that have been delivered. There's a reduction in the number of parcels that are being delivered. Okay. So now let's jump straight into our forecasting. I'm just going to do maybe 2 techniques, okay? Obviously, there are more than 2, okay? But I'm just going to do 2 for today's class, okay? So the number one technique, okay? Let's say step 7 would be apply forecast sheet technique. Forecast sheet technique. Forecast sheet technique. Okay, so the first one is forecast sheet, and that's the easiest one you can always learn. And I usually start with that because it's easy to use, easy to use, easy to deploy, easy basically, very beginner friendly. Okay, so in order for me to do this using the forecast sheet, okay, so if I click on data, you see I have a forecast sheet in there. So this is forecast sheet. So I want to use this too. So Excel has been improved on over the years. So a lot of people don't know recent features that Excel has. Okay, Excel also has what we call data analysis. Okay, which allows you to use statistical allows you to build your own statistical models. Okay, all right. So you could do your F-test, exponential smoothing. You could do moving averages and so on and so forth. Okay. But today, for today's session, I'm just going to use the forecast sheet so you can see in real time how you can actually create your own forecast. Okay. So I'm going to click anywhere inside the data set, click anywhere inside the data, anywhere. It doesn't matter anywhere. Just click anywhere inside the data. Click on data. Okay. Then you see forecast sheet. Click on it again. And you see it is currently coming in on a monthly basis, 2015, 2016, and 2017. Unfortunately, Excel does not allow me to increase the size of this thing, so you can't really see it very well. All right, so it's currently coming in as 2015, 2016, and it is forecasting 2017. Okay, it's also doing the forecast from 2016 all the way to, all right, it's doing the forecast essentially. All right, but this is not what I'm looking for. I want it to forecast on a monthly basis. I don't want it to forecast on a yearly basis. I want it to forecast on a monthly basis. So what I'm going to do, very simple, okay, is, all right, I would insert a new row, and I'll call this period. Okay, you can call it time period. I'll call it period. And I'll just put 1, 2, 3. All right, so this will represent my month. Okay, all right, so this will represent my periods, my months. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to 12, which is 1 year. Another what? Another 12 months to represent another year. All right, so the period here basically is representing my month. Okay, so that's what I have here. Okay, so I'll click anywhere inside and do the same thing. Click anywhere inside the data, click on data, click on forecast sheet, and now you see it is showing me on a monthly basis. All right, so you can see it now on a monthly basis. So when I finish this, you'll see the full screen. Don't worry, it's looking very small at this point in time, but you'll see it shortly. Okay, all right. So you see this is taking it from 1, 2, 3. Let me see if I can't even zoom my screen on this, unfortunately. All right, but this is the forecast sheet. Okay, all right. So this is the forecast sheet, and you can see this is the visualization, almost the visualization that we saw earlier. We can see on the decline, it's going on a decline. All right. So the forecast currently, you see it is also still going on a decline. It's currently still going on a decline. And you see it's currently you see it here, forecast end on 30. Okay. So if I want to do 6 months in advance, I want to go 6 months into the future. All right, if I'm going 6 months into the future, let me get a pen so I can write easily on my screen. Okay, all right. So currently, you see it here. From here, we have period 1 all the way to period 24. Okay, so that's basically how many. That's 24 months. Okay, 24 months. 24 months. January 2015 to December 2016 is 24 months. And that's exactly what we have here. 1 all the way to 24. Okay, that's basically the 24 months that we have here. Okay, 24 months. Okay, all right. So currently, this Excel forecast sheet is telling you forecast end. Forecast end. When do you want to end the forecast? So currently we've done 24 months, and this guy, Excel is extending it all the way to 30. Okay, so basically it is doing an extra of how many months? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's basically forecasting by itself 6 months into the future. Okay, so the forecast sheet currently, all right, is currently doing a what? A 6-month forecast for you. All right, it's doing a 6-month forecast for you. Now, that's exactly what we have here. Forecast end is 30. Now, forecast starts. So it's starting the forecast from that December. From where? From December. So if you look at it all the way down, you see it started from December, which is 24. All right. It's doing the forecast from that particular month. And then taking it down into the future, 6 months into the future. All right, that's exactly what has been happening. This is what's happening here. But obviously, you could always make changes to all these things. You could always make changes to all this. So I'm going to quickly make a change to that, and you see how it interacts. So now, if I change this to take, for example, I take it back 15. So you see now, this is now starting from 15th and taking it all the way to 6 months. And you see now, it's instead of a straight line that I had earlier, earlier was just one straight line. This straight line was just a straight line telling you a decrease. All right, it's telling you a decrease. Okay, but now you can see now I have fluctuations. I have more fluctuations. And essentially, what I've done is I changed the forecast start from 24, all right, to 15. So what is 15? 15 is basically March 2016. Okay, so I'm saying start the forecast from March 2016 and take it all the way into the future, 6 months into the future. So based on this, Excel is able to see more trends. Excel is able to see more, identify more trends, more seasonality, okay, and use that in extrapolating what will happen in the future. Okay, but even based on the forecast, you still see that it's been on a steady decline. You see, it's on a steady decline, and that's exactly what you can see. And this is one key feature that makes you different from the regular data analyst. All right. Somebody say I don't lost. All right. So where are you lost, Clara? Let me see. Okay, where are you lost? Let me see if I can bring you back a bit. Okay. All right. So this is the forecast sheet. So Clara, if you want to raise up your hand and unmute yourself, I'll be happy to take your question real quick. Okay. Okay, Clara. Okay, let me ask you to unmute. Okay. I'm just going to repeat myself one other time, okay? And we'll take it up from there. So this is not something, this is a masterclass. Okay, Clara, yes, go ahead, please.
Okay, I'm actually lost from where we are supposed to start the forecasting.
Where you're supposed to start the forecast. So creating this table is essentially. So
Sorry?
you got to this place, correct? You know how to get to this place, correct?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So all you need to do once you have your table like this, okay, once you have the table like this, all you need to do is click anywhere inside the table, click on data. Forecast sheet is literally staring at you in the face. You see here. So once you click anywhere inside here, okay, click anywhere, click on data in Excel, you'll see forecast sheet is there. It's literally just there. All you need to do is just click on it, and that's all you see there. Okay. So what we did, essentially, what you're seeing currently, all right, what you're seeing currently, I'm just click on my pen, all right, is you see it here, one, you see one, all is very tiny, unfortunately, but I'll make it bigger very soon. It takes you all the way to 24. So you see, this is it here, 1 all the way to 24. So you see, 1 is January 2015, 2
Yeah.
is February 2015, all the way to December what? 2016.
Yeah.
That's 24 months. Basically 24 months. That's basically what? 24 months. So our current data is from 2015 January to 2016 December. That is 24 months. Correct? That's January to
Yeah.
December is what? 12 months. Another January to December, another what? 12 months. So that basically means 24 months. That's 2 years. 2 years is equals to, okay, is equals to 24 months. That's exactly what we have here. 1 to 24. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay, you muted yourself back. I want to discuss with you so you understand it. I can get that immediate feedback from you.
Yeah. I
Okay?
think I understand it.
Okay. Oh, don't worry, it's fine. Don't worry. We're here together. It's no problem at all. Okay. I'm happy to converse with you. Okay. So now this is 24 months. Okay. But we're doing a forecast. We're doing a forecast. Okay. We're doing a forecast. And basically, forecast means you're going into the, okay. We know what we did from January 2015 to December 2016, but that's not the essence of what we are trying to do. We want to be able to extrapolate, we want to be able to forecast what would happen 6 months into the future. So that would be January 2017 all the way to December. I said 6 months all the way to June, okay, 2017. That's what we want to know. We want to know what would happen January, okay, 2017 all the way to June, all right, 2017. That's 6 months, isn't it? That's 6 months into the future. And that's exactly what they've done. So you see it here, 25, 26, 27, all the way to 30. So that is 1 month, 2 months, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Essentially, this is a forecast of 6 months. Okay, that's a forecast of 6 months. Okay, this is a 6 month forecast. All right. So you see now it still continues on a decline. We talked about a decline. It's a 6 months, it's declining, even on a 6 month trend. It's still declining. All right. And that's exactly what we're seeing. So you see forecast end 30. You can always change this number. Okay, you can always change the number. So if you want to do 12 months into the future, you want to do 12 months. If you want to do January to December, you don't want to do January to June. All right. You want to do January to December. Okay. You want to do January to December. That's another what? 12-month forecast. That's a 12-month forecast. So you change this 30 to what? What would you change this 30 to? Let me see. People are following me. Okay. What would you change the 30 to? So currently 30 is June. Okay. All right. So what would be the additional? What would be 30? What would I change 30 to? If I want to do it 36 exactly. All right, that's 24, 12, 12, 12. Okay, that will be 24, and that will be 36. Okay, 36. And once I change on 36, all right, you see now it has changed to 36. I'm just going to clean this up a bit so you see it in real time. All right, so you see it has extended. Okay, it has also extended from 30. Okay, so now you see it here, it stopped at 24 initially, okay, but it has taken it from 25 to 36, which is 12 months into the future. All right. So, anyways, where you're starting the forecast is another determinant. Okay. All right. So I can start from, I used 15 initially. So from this now, I can see from 15, basically with when I'm saying 15, when I change forecast start from 15, all right, I changed it from forecast start 15. So I changed it to 15. So 15 basically means start forecasting from March 2016. That's what I'm saying. Start forecasting from March 2015. So Excel statistics is a very interesting concept in the sense that, it is taking the seasonality, okay? It's identifying the seasonality. It is looking at the trend from March 2016 and incorporating it into the forecast. And that's the reason why you're seeing, the ups and the downs, okay? Identify the ups and the down. So basically, it's looking at it from here and it's doing the forecast into the future, okay? It's doing the forecast into the future. So you're looking at it and you're measuring the accuracy and you're looking at how accurate the forecast is, essentially. All right. So basically, I'm just going to click on, once I finish everything, once I have this, okay, I'll just click on create. Okay. I'll click on create and it will create the forecast for me. All right. It will create the forecast for me. So I'm just going to make this a bit bigger. All right. So essentially, so you can see it very well. All right. So essentially, that's it. Okay. So you see, it is starting from March 2016. All right. And it is the beauty about this is it gives you a lower and the upper confidence interval. Okay. So you have the lower and you have the upper. This is the actual forecast. This is your actual. This is the actual forecast. Okay, this part here is the actual forecast. This is the upper, this is the lower, lower, and this over here is the upper. So you see there is a band. There is a band there's one band that is on top. There is one band that is on top, and there is another band that is under. There is another band that is under. So basically, it's telling you that I'm 95% confident. Okay, I'm 95% confident that the forecast, this our actual, what we are going to do, is going to be between this lower and this upper. So if you take a look at it, let me clean up everything. You'll find out that the forecast, the actual forecast, this is from March. This currently is March 2016. This is currently from March 2016. You'll find out that your actual forecast is sort of inside the upper and the lower band. Okay, so if you look at it, March to April also is inside the upper and is also is between upper and the lower. So, and that's the same thing for every other thing. Other places, it's between the upper and the lower band, the upper and lower confidence bound. Okay, in some months, it's likely going to escape. Okay, this is what we have here. Like this particular month, it exceeded the upper and the lower band. Okay. All right. So in this particular month now, you might have a little bit of offsets. Okay. All right. Okay. But essentially, every other month, you find out it is either between the upper and the lower bound. And that's exactly what you're trying to, that's one of the benefits of using the forecast sheet. Okay. All right. That's one of the benefits of using the forecast sheet in Microsoft Excel. Okay. So it gives you that lower confidence and upper confidence in the sense that when you're reporting to management, okay, you can easily say that this is going to be this particular month, it's going to be January 2017. This month, this particular 25 is going to be January 2017. So this is the actual forecast, 74 million, 900 and blah, 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 blah. Okay. But basically, rather than giving an exact number that we are going to do 74 million parcels this month, I would rather communicate because your forecast can never be accurate. You can never have an accurate forecast. It's impossible. You can never have an accurate forecast. All right. It's impossible for you to say that, oh, we're going to do 10,000 parcels tomorrow and we will do 10,000. It's impossible. So that's why it's good for you to have a band. So when I'm reporting now, I won't say we're going to do 74,000. I would say my forecast is 74,000, but we are going to likely do between 63 million, all right, between 63 million to 86 million parcels. All right, that's my band. So you see this 74 is between, okay, it's between what? 63 to 86 million. All right. All right, it's between it. So when I'm reporting, we're going to prepare between 63 to 86 million. All right, and that's what we're going to use as a benchmark for the forecast. Okay, so when we are planning, we're going to be planning between, we're going to be basing our plan in that particular month to say that we're likely going to do between 63 to 86 million. You see, the next month it reduces to 48 million, between 48 million to 70 million. And this one also reduces, and some month it's likely going to increase, some months is reducing, and so on and so forth. So rather than having an exact number to say that, oh, we're going to do 70 million, all right, we're going to do 70 million, I wouldn't use this. I'd rather say, oh, we're likely going to do between 40 to 80 million. Based off this, based on the data, this is likely what we are going to achieve. So essentially, that's you using the forecast sheet. And like I mentioned earlier, this comes with Excel by default. Okay, this comes with Excel by default. There are some other ways. There are quite a number of other ways you could actually do this. All right, there are so many other ways that you could actually do it. All right, one other way is basically through statistical forecast. Okay, all right. So you have different forecasting tools. Okay, so you have different forecasting functions. Forecast ETS, that's exponential smoothing. You have forecast ETS confit, you have forecast ETS seasonality, forecast, and you see so many other forecasting functions. All right. And there are other ways you can actually do forecasting. All right. There are other techniques. There's linear regression. There is you're just going to go to data analysis. You also have moving average. Okay. You have moving average. You also have exponential smoothing. So these are all forecasting techniques that you can actually use. So I'm not saying forecast sheet is the best technique to use. It's just one of the techniques that you could actually use for your forecasting. That's exactly what I'm doing. All right. So rather than using an exact number to say that, oh, next month forecast is going to be 70,000 or 80,000. All right. You could actually say that rather than do that, give a band. Is likely going to be between this band, the lower confidence band, and the upper confidence band. And that's basically what you do. All right. Even though you have exact focus, you would likely want to go with a band so that you are always going to be between the upper and the lower band. Basically, that's exactly what we're going to be talking about. And that's just one of the techniques that you can actually leverage in forecasting. I'm going to take a question, okay, which is from Sam Oshuj Soko.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. I don't know if you can hear me clearly.
Yeah, you will, Sam.
Okay, so I've got, thank you very much. Fantastic session. I mean, eye-opening, fantastic session. I've got a science background, and I've actually been in one of your previous master classes before. I think data analytics or something a while back. So this is like the second one, and I think I've enjoyed it. I would want to ask, beyond the historical basis, because what we've done basically is to impute 2015 and 2016 data into this machine, and the machine is attempting to predict the future for us. Beyond the historical basis, is there any other basis for this prediction? And the reason why I'm asking is I want to be convinced in my mind that what we have done in the last, say, 20, 30 minutes is not exactly what, if you like, football fans do, which is that, they've watched several clubs playing and they know how Man U have behaved in the last 1 year, the last 2 years. So when they're staking their money on Man U, that Man U will lose or Man U will win based on, gut feel. How is what we've done, how is it different from me studying the pattern of Man U, in winning and losing over time and without going through all of this and me being able to effectively say, so that's my question one. Question two is that from your own experience, what degree of accuracy, is it 90%? Is it 70% of the band that you have predicted? Is it plus or minus 5%? Is acceptable in predictive analysis? I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to ask.
Okay. Yeah.
So
I do.
what level of degree of variance is acceptable? So if I miss it by 5%, am I okay? So if I said that we're going to sell 100 and sell 95, are we good? Or I said we sell 100 and then sell 70, I'm a bad analyst. I just wanted to get that. Thank you.
So yeah, fantastic question, Sam. Okay. Based on the first question, which is using historical, okay, all right, using historical data. So forecasting, data science as a whole, not just forecasting, data science. So when you're talking about data science, you're talking about machine learning. You're also using AI, okay, everything that has to do with data science, all right, is based on historical data. Every pardon my English, okay? Everything that we're doing in data science is based on historical data. Every single thing, everything is based on historical data. So ChatGPT, okay, or OpenAI came up with a new product called Sora, okay, that can do what? Text to video. Okay. All right. ChatGPT, another AI tool, all right, can read your text and come up with answers and come up with solutions, a chatbot is that essentially, okay, that can respond to you. All right. You're also talking about tools like several other ML tools, okay, that can essentially mimic, human activities, okay, mimic human activities and they can replicate it. All these tools, data science, data engineer, and data science tools are all based on historical data. And what am I talking about? That's the same thing with our forecast that we did today. All right, it's all based on historical. So if a tool, so once you're talking about prediction, before you can predict what would happen, before you should be able to predict, you need to see what has been happening. You need to see what the trend has been like in the last couple of months. Okay, all right, and you use that to extrapolate. So based on this, based on the performance in the last 6 months, 1 year, 5 years, this is likely what is going to continue. Okay, so and that's the reason why I asked that question. What has been the trend like, from 2015 all the way to 2016? And that's what the machine is going to use to extrapolate. The likes of machine learning also. Take, for example, we built a model for one of the banks in Nigeria, and it's essentially to predict fraudulent transaction, to predict fraud. Okay, which transaction is going to be fraudulent, or which rather is suspicious transactions, essentially, not necessarily fraudulent, but suspicious. Okay, now how will the machine learning algorithm understand or know? How would the machine learning algorithm know what is suspicious? Okay, how do you think this machine is going to learn to be able to identify transactions, all right, that are suspicious? How do you think this algorithm is going to be able to do it? It's going to be based on historical data. So the bank will give us data, okay, will give us data of both not unsuspicious, okay, if there's any word like that, and suspicious transactions. Will give us 2 data sets, okay, one for transactions that are not suspicious and transactions that are suspicious, okay? And that data is what we use to train the algorithm to be able to identify suspicious transactions. So take, for example, a child, a baby, okay, a baby for the first time. The baby doesn't know what is good, okay, and doesn't know what is bad. Okay, doesn't know what is good, it doesn't know what is bad. Okay, a black baby is like a machine learning algorithm, is like the forecasting tool that we're going to use. So the baby comes today and sees fire, for example, sees fire, okay, for the first time and touches the fire. Okay, immediately the baby touches it and hurts the baby will know that, oh, fire is bad. So in the future, okay, when the baby sees fire, what happens? Okay, stay away from it. This will hurt me. Okay, that's using historical to detect what would happen in the future. All right, and that's exactly how that's data science. So really, everything that you're doing in data science is going to be based on historical data, and that's why data is important, and that's why the organizations are, figuring out how to keep, how to store as much data as possible. Because the more data you have, the more you can make sense of your data. So ideally for a forecast, all right, for a forecast, the minimum agreed number of years you should have to build a forecast is 5 years. Okay, 5 years, the minimum. All right. But for a business like this that has only 2 years, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't build a forecast for them. You can actually build a forecast for them. All right. So ideally, you need 5 years of historical pattern. Okay. Historical pattern, essentially, in order for you to be able to build a more accurate forecast. All right, to build. But that doesn't mean that if you have 2 years of historical data, you can't build a forecast. You can. You can actually do that. And that's exactly what we're trying to see. So you're likely going to be working with historical data. All right. But now, in very, very unique situations, now, this is where experience comes in. When you're predicting for a new product, and I love talking about data science because it's so interesting because we see these things, but we don't know that we do them, that it happens. Let me just put it that way. For a new product. So you see, Apple just brought out a new product, which is the Vision Pro. It's a Vision Pro, the Vision Pro. Okay. Now, how do you think Apple, how do you think Apple would know how many products, okay, okay, should we produce? So this is where demand planning comes in. Okay, how many of these headsets should we produce? That is a new product. So for these new products, there is no historical data. There is no historical data. There is no historical data. You've never sold, Apple has never sold Vision Pro before. This is a new product that is coming to the market. How do they predict how many products they should produce? Okay, all right, how many? So that's where a unique situation that also calls for a unique technique. There are different techniques. The one that comes to mind that I've used in my experience is not previous pattern. This is a new product. They've never sold this before. All right. They could draw insights from other products that they've used before. That's a very good one, Olajumoke. All right. They could draw up from other products that they have sold before, like the iPhone. Okay. They could draw insight from earbuds. I don't know if it's earbuds they call it, but I guess this is earbuds. They could sell from their MacBook laptops and any other products. They can look at the trend from iPhones. When they brought out the iPhone, what was the trend like? When they brought out the earbuds, how was it like? When they brought out the MacBook, how was the trend? They could use historical trend from other products that the Apple has launched in the past as new products. Okay? But there's another technique which we call the S curve. Okay, okay, and this is a unique technique. Okay, all right, and basically it's talking about what's the word? Sorry, so it's not the word is skipping my head now. Okay, basically the S curve looks like this. Okay, so basically there's a way you account for value for users and all that, and you can predict. So basically, when they bring out a new product, a company like Apple, when they bring out a new product, they're going to be bringing out a product that is going to attain this level in terms of technology, in terms of acceptability, in terms of so many things. Okay, so they would have a lot of testing that would have gone in place to be able to achieve, technological advancements, acceptability, so many other things that you have to go through. So for you and I, when we are creating the product, we are likely going to start from here because we don't have the capacity, we are going to start from here. Okay, all right, but they would likely want to start from somewhere because they have the capacity, they have the money, they have all the resources that they need to start from here. But we, as a person that you just want to create a product today, all right, you want to create a bicycle that can run on water, okay, whatever it is, okay, you're likely going to start from here. And over years, okay, over months and weeks and years, we're likely going to get to this place, all right, okay. But Apple is likely going to start from somewhere here because they have the money, they have the vision, they have all those things, okay. So essentially, when they get to this place, okay, they need to continue to stay at this particular place itself. And basically, not to make this a bit complicated than where I'm going to already. Essentially, there are techniques that you could use, like I mentioned, the S curve, that you could use to account for acceptability and also demand, okay? You can use to account for demand of that particular product at this point in time. So basically, that's where data science comes in, and they can leverage all this in forecasting. But essentially, long story short is historical data is what is being used to solve all these things. Okay. Now, the other part of the question is degree of accuracy. All right. So now, degree of accuracy is very relative. Okay. For this organization that is doing 100 million, 89 million, 104 million. This is also in the hundreds of millions. Okay, is in the hundreds and thousands of millions. Okay, or thousands of millions essentially. That's all right. That's not right. Okay, but basically you can see them. They are in millions essentially. Okay, so a 10% accurate, a 10 plus or minus 10% variance is a huge number. So 10% of, let's say, 100 million, okay, 10% of that would be about 10,000, okay, about 10,000, all right? 10% is about 10,000, meaning that unaccounted for 10,000 parcels, okay, all right? 10,000 parcels, okay, 10,000 parcels is unaccounted for. So in this kind of situation, it is large. This is big. This is a big number of parcels unaccounted for. Okay, all right. In a small organization that is doing that, maybe some bike delivery guy or one bike delivery company in Yaba that is doing about 200 in a day, 200 deliveries in a day. 10% of this is what? All right. 10% of this is 20. Abi, that'll be 50 is, yeah, it'll be about 20. All right. All right. So 20 parcels unaccounted for this kind of business, this is still the same 10% variant. All right. 10% of this, it's not bad for this particular organization. 10% is not bad because 20 parcels, even though it's not accounted for, they can easily deal with it. All right. They can easily just walk ahead with it and go on as the day goes by. All right. But for an organization that is doing millions, okay, it's likely, so 10%, if I say 10% is acceptable, in some organization, it's fine. In some organization, that's a disaster. It's a huge disaster. And that's because it is subjective to the number of volume, the kind of company, and so on and so forth. So my own experience, okay, working logistics to medical technology and all that, all right, I try to see how I can get less than 10%. Less than 10%. If it is less than 10%, I have tried, to be honest with you. All right. So you can't actually get to 100%. You can't get 100%. This is something that is unachievable. All right. If you can get less than 10%, that is fantastic. In some organization, even before joining the organization, I'm not going to mention their name, their current accuracy was less than 30%. Okay, but I took it from less than about 40%, less than 40%, because it was about 35, 37. All right. So it was less than 40%. So it wasn't very good. And I was able to take it from this 40% to less than 10%. So on a weekly, monthly basis, it was between 5 to 9% accuracy. So today might be 5%, tomorrow, based on demand, it might increase to 9%, so on and so forth. So you see, that's where you come in as a data scientist to be able to improve on existing processes and make them better. But I can't tell you that, 10% is acceptable. In some organization, 9% is a disaster. In Amazon, for example, doing 9% accuracy might be because they're doing a huge volume. So when you look at 10% in that volume, it's ridiculous, it's massive. It can actually be in millions, all right? And that would affect the business. So they're trying to achieve it to the nearest smallest number as much as possible. So essentially that's the case, okay? And that forecast, and that's what really makes the role of a data scientist very impactful in the business, because you are seeing your impact right off the bat. You're seeing your impact real time. You are seeing your impact. Nobody's waiting next month or 2 years' time for you to see the impact of your work. You are seeing the impact immediately. Okay, you have a conversation with the CEO to the board members, and you're just telling them the reason why they need to do it in a certain way in order to achieve their desired result. So now with this particular organization, I'm telling them we need to prepare for, between this number to this number in order for us to be able to achieve the business model of next day delivery. All right, and that's exactly what we're going to be talking about. So without wasting too much time, all right, that's exactly why we've introduced the full stack data science program. So today we used Excel. A lot of people don't know that a lot of people want to learn data science and they start with Python. They start with learning Python, okay? But that's not the case. You can actually start with, you need to start from the basics, learn statistics, learn Excel, and move on to the next thing. So this training program, the data science training program, is 100% online, 100% online, hands-on practical session like we did today. Today, obviously, is a masterclass, so certain processes where I just went through the process, not really putting you through one after the other. All right. I like to follow on that, but our classes are more practical, more hands-on. So as I'm working on it, you're also working on it on your own side, and you're seeing the real-time impact of your work. Okay. So the classes spans over 20 classes with over 50 topics, 100% job visibility, prospect visibility. I'll talk more on that as we go on. Industry relevant certification, and you get to add over 10 projects to your project portfolio. So 100% online, hands-on practical session, building real-life projects. Okay, 20 classes with over 50 topics, 100% job visibility, and so on and so forth that we have in there. How do you become a data scientist? First of all, you need to learn statistics. That's very important, very, very important. So we did a little bit of statistics today, but not too much, okay? So you need to understand the basics of statistics. You need to know the application of statistics and so on. Now, the next thing also, you need to learn Excel and Tableau for predictive analytics. So it's not just using Excel to do visualization, it's also using Excel to do predictions, carry out prediction. We only use forecasting today. You could use it for linear regression. You could also use it for exponential smoothing. You could use it for moving averages and so on and so forth. All right, so many other techniques that you could actually use with Microsoft Excel. The same thing with Tableau. So you use Excel and Tableau to do what we call, to build a dashboard, to do your analysis, and you would also use it for predictive analytics. Now, next thing is SQL. You would also learn SQL, structured query language, okay, that takes you through how to extract data from databases. Okay, so I talked about how organizations are trying to store as much data as possible. Now, they store the data in what we call a database. All right, they store the data in what we call a database. All right, now this database, the key question is, how do you now extract data from the database? You need SQL to extract data from the database. Next thing is learn Python programming. Okay, so you see what we needed to do before we get to Python. We learned statistics, we're going to learn Excel, we're going to learn Tableau, we're going to learn SQL before we start learning Python. So most people are looking to transition into data science. It's not Python. Python is not just the alpha and the omega. All right. Yes, it's what you would use. All right. It's part of the tools that you get to work with. But you need, for as a beginner, there's a transition you need to go through to get to Python. So you learn Python, you learn how to use Python for data analysis, data visualization, exploratory data analysis, so on and so forth. And then you learn on machine learning and computer vision. So machine learning is what we talked about, you trying to replicate activities that ideally humans should be doing. All right. So take, for example, I talked about the fraudulent transaction. All right. Or let me use another experience. Okay. Worked with a medical technology company. Okay. Medical technology company. And what I did for them, medical technology company. Okay, so basically what I did for them is they produce packages, they produce medical equipment for companies, literally hospitals globally, not just in Europe. Literally, we had teams in the US, that's America, also Europe, Middle East, EMEA region, and the APAC, Asia Pacific, and all that. So essentially, when a box is designed, when a parcel is ready to move out, there are certain standards it must achieve. Okay, there are certain standards it must achieve. So essentially, what we did was to, build an ML model. all right, using computer vision, okay, that would be able to look at the box. The computer will be able to look at the box, examine the box, and make sure that these standards are achieved. All right. And basically it is ready for shipping, is ready for, being sold to the customer, to the client, and so on and so forth. So that's what we did with them. So ideally it was supposed to be a person that's supposed to be examining those boxes. But because of the volume of boxes that needed to be, the number of boxes that needed to be reviewed on a per second per minute basis, it's impossible for humans to do it. It's likely going to take 2 years, a long time. Let me just put it like that, for them to be reviewing every single box that is going out. It's going to take a long time. So what we did was to build an ML model that would be able to examine the boxes, look at all four corners of the boxes, underneath the box and everything, and make sure that it meets a certain standards. Every country has its own standard. Okay, so all these things need to be adhered to. So it's difficult for the human to look at the box, look at where it is going to, and examine the standard of that particular box and the content and so on and so forth. And that's exactly why we built an ML model. Same thing with another one that you can resonate with is fraud. Honestly speaking, fraudulent transaction. This was for a bank. Okay, so basically, normally the compliance team, all right, approves, and the compliance team will be the one to approve and reject, different transaction. So whenever you make a transaction, let's say person A, okay, person A initiates a transaction, all right, okay, the compliance team, first of all, will need to look at it. We need to look at that transaction, approve it, okay, and then it gets to the next person, okay, person B. So in order for you to transfer money from person A to person B, okay, the compliance team has to approve that this transaction is not suspicious, okay? All right. All right, this transaction is not suspicious. So, well, obviously, and this particular experience, I've worked with at least 3 organizations based on this: one insurance and 2 financial institutions. All right. Now, the bank one of the banks I worked with was in Ireland. Okay, one of the banks in Ireland. If I don't want to mention their name, but basically, if you send money today, you're likely going to receive it maybe in next day, either the next day or sometimes in 2 days' time. Literally. And really, the whole process is there is a compliance team that needs to approve that amount, okay, and approve the transaction before it goes out to before it gets to the second person. Most people living in Ireland will know this bank. They've improved over time. Basically, is you leveraging ML at the end of everything. So rather than using the compliance team to approve transaction, all right, we developed an ML model, okay, that would look at the transaction and classify it as either not suspicious or suspicious transaction. Now, I saw this apply in real time when I relocated from Ireland to the UK. All right. So when I relocated from Ireland to the UK, so the first time I got to the UK, I went grocery shopping, okay, and I used my Ireland card to make payments. And immediately I tried to do that, I was logged off. Okay, I was logged off. It was very fast, it was very efficient. Normally, the approval would have gone through because it was, it was less than £100. It was less than £100. So immediately I tapped the card, I was logged off immediately. So I called the bank to figure out the reason why I was locked off. And it was simple. First of all, the amount, okay, they looked at the amount that was being transacted, they looked at the location, okay, they looked at the means of payment. All right. They looked at several things because I worked with them. So I was talking to the team. Okay. And obviously we built this model and we're criticizing it and we're working with it together. And we're just, we're very excited to see that the model that we built was already taking actions based off certain features of transactions. So look at the amount, look at the location, look at the means of payment. So it was a tap. Okay. So majority of the fraudulent transaction that you see in the UK, literally in advanced other countries, is tapping. So you tap your card or you swipe the card. Okay. So once you do that, you see, and it's a different location, it's a different, beyond the normal amount. So I went shopping for clothes and all that. So it was a different. So it's very interesting, and you see this in real time. Okay, and those are the things that you get to learn going through this particular training program. Okay, so you get to work with machine learning. You also get with computer vision. So if you look at me currently, okay, you'll find out that I have this analytics background. All right, it's not a banner. It's just a virtual background. But guess what? You can still see my face. If I raise up my hand, it doesn't blur out my hands. If I stand up, it doesn't blur out my body. How does the webcam that I'm using currently know my face, my hand, my chest, my shoulder? How does it know it? That's computer vision. Tesla is another very good use of computer vision. All right. So you're moving the car from point A to point B. Okay. How does the car move from point A to point B? Computer vision. The car will see the road. The car will see, the street lights, the traffic lights. It knows when to stop. It knows when to start. It knows when the person is crossing the road. It knows when the car is close to it, and all these things. Okay. So computer vision is a real-time application. Tesla is a very perfect example of how computer vision works. All right, so at the end of everything, you become a master data scientist, and you get your job, your desired career path in data science. So essentially, this is the progression we're going to walk through, starting from statistics all the way to Microsoft Excel, to Tableau, to SQL, to Python, to data analysis using data analysis and visualization. Okay, then you work with computer vision and machine learning. Okay. But guess what? All these things is just 50% of what you learn. Okay, 50% of what you need to get a job. Okay, this is just amounts to only 50% of what you need to get a job. All right. Other tools you see to also work with is Microsoft Fabrics, ChatGPT, and GitHub Copilot. Okay. Now let's talk about the other 50%. Okay. So other roles you could apply to roles as a data scientist, you could apply to roles of a data analyst, sales analyst, supply chain analyst, fraud analyst, pricing analyst, market research analyst, logistics analyst, and so many other roles out there. So you're not just learning a skill to get a job in a particular domain, you can get a job in any domain that you find yourself. As long as it is analytics, it is science, it is data related, you can take on that particular opportunity. Now, this training program comes with 1 month free internship. 1 month free internship. Okay, so on this particular internship, you get to add it to your CV. You get 1 month own your skills, 1 month own your skills in the sense that you're going to be working on real life projects. Okay, real life projects, practical examples, projects. You would add in about 6 projects to your portfolio, project review with an expert. Those are the things that you get to work with. Okay, so you have 1 month internship experience. You can add it to your CV. You can tell potential recruiters that you're currently working with analytics as a data analytics or data science contractor, and that's exactly what you're doing. All right. So now the key question is: after all these things, you'll learn this, you'll learn that. Why should you train with us? So on this premise, I'm going to just be talking on 4 different grounds. Number 1, phenomenal achievement, helping people get jobs. In the last 3 years of our existence, all right, that's the analytics, we've helped over 2,000 plus people transition from whatever background they were into getting their first job in the tech space. And that's what we've done. And that's the reason why we have so many evidence. We have enough evidence for you to go through in order for you to see that this is achievable. All right. So we have phenomenal achievements in helping people get their jobs, their desired jobs, and we've been doing that for the last 3 years. And we want to do more this year. Okay. Number 2 is industry standard facilitators and curriculum. So, like what we talked about today, you see all the things that you need to learn in order for you to land a job is what we'll be teaching you. You're also going to be learning new tools like Microsoft Fabrics, like using ChatGPT for data science, like using GitHub Copilot for programming, and so on and so forth. So when you're talking about up-to-date curriculum and industry standard facilitators, people that have a wealth of experience that will be able to answer your question using real-life scenarios, that's exactly what you'll be gaining from it. Number 3, learner training to accommodate every learning type. So we have a mixture of live classes, okay, and watch me do it videos. Live classes, and a mixture with live classes and watch me do it videos. So self-paced material. All right, self-paced materials. So you have the live class, the ones you have on weekends, Saturdays and Sunday, and you also have the self-paced watch me do it videos that allows you to practice on your own, at your own pace, to work on your own pace. All right. Last but not the least, tailored session to position you for your job, to getting your job. So essentially, that tailored session, that's where you do your LinkedIn sessions, your LinkedIn optimization sessions, CV review sessions, how to navigate the job market, and so on and so forth. Now, but wait, that's not all, though. There's still more. All right. So that additional employability services is in 3 layers. Number one here, CV review. So we're going to help you revamp your CV. Okay, we'll help you to revamp your CV. Currently, you're not working in tech space and you're looking to get into the tech space. We would help you revamp your CV. Who have customer service experience, who have been working as a banker, who have been working in this domain, have been a pharmacist, have been a medical doctor. Now, how do you transition from that particular experience into data science? That's exactly what we're going to help you achieve. So we're going to help you revamp your CV. All right. So to give you that experience, to make it look as though you are a data scientist and you have the experience and get you a full-time job, not a free internship, a full-time job, not an entry-level job, a full-time job. All right. And I'll show you how I'm going to assist you get it. Okay. LinkedIn optimization also would help you achieve that. Essentially, LinkedIn optimization works like SEO. So when you go on Google to search for something, all right, Google will give you the best results, isn't it? So LinkedIn optimization works the same way. So once a recruiter goes on LinkedIn and searches for a particular job title, let's say data scientist, okay, your profile should be recommended. Okay, should be part of the top 5 recommendations they should get. Now, if you don't get that, okay, currently, your LinkedIn profile is not optimized. Okay, and that's exactly what we're going to help you achieve. Okay, Upwork optimization. Essentially, Upwork is a freelance platform where you can get remote jobs, and that's what we're going to help you achieve. Optimizing your platform, and also optimizing your profile and getting your opportunities working as a freelancer on Upwork. Also, we have navigating the job market where you can also, where to apply for jobs, where to apply for remote jobs, where to apply for data science jobs, where to apply for, different types of jobs in order for you to get started. So what type of jobs can you take on? I told you currently, just a few minutes ago, I told you about 8 roles you can apply to as a data scientist, a data analyst. You can do a supply chain analyst, logistics analyst, sales analyst. You can take up all these roles. People don't know that because they don't know it. They can't guess it. All right. Like the experience we talked about today, which was on demand forecasting, applies to 2 roles, which is supply chain analytics, okay, and some logistics. So those are that particular experience we talked about. You can use that experience for supply chain and also for logistics. Now, the next one also will teach you how to navigate the job market, which is job interview preparation. Now, once you have a CV reviewed, you have a LinkedIn profile optimized, you know how to navigate the job market, all right? You know how to apply for jobs, you know how to position yourself, you'll get interviewed. It's no doubt. There is no doubt about that. It's something that works. So navigating the job market, you get job interviews. We will prepare you for the job market. We'll prepare you for the job interview. All right. So we have mock interview sessions where we train you on how to answer questions during the interview. Questions like, tell me about yourself. Okay. How do you answer that question? Tell me about yourself. Situational based questions, scenario based questions, where they tell me about a time you build a forecast, okay, and how it impacted the business. How do you tell that story? So for tell me about yourself, we use the SEED technique. For the situational based questions, we use the STAR technique. Okay. So tell me about yourself. When you say tell me about yourself, you talk about your skill, you talk about your experience, you talk about your achievements, and you talk about the type of person that you are. Okay. For STAR, you talk about the situation, you talk about the task, you talk about the action, and then the result. So these are ways you can answer questions in a more professional setting to get you the desired outcome of your interview. Last but not the least, recommendation and reference letter. So these particular, it's very, very, for guys looking to get remote jobs or guys in different parts of the world, I feel like they need, either UK experience, Canada experience, US experience. It's all bullshit. So essentially, the reason why they're looking for those experiences is because there's nobody that can stand in for them. All right. So currently, in your previous experience, you've been working as a doctor and you want to get a job as a data scientist. How do you want to use your former employer, which is a hospital, as a reference? Okay, that's going to be shady. That's 100% shady already. Okay, so what we're going to do is you can claim work experience from Analytics, like I mentioned earlier. So you can tell the potential recruiter, I currently work with Analytics. This is what I do. This is what I've done with Analytics, working on all these projects that you're going to work on. And that's exactly, and once they reach out to us for reference, we would provide them with the reference to back up your application. All right. And that's what really has helped quite a number of people transition. Because most people are just looking for free. Let me do it for free for you. Okay, let me come and work with your organization for free so I can gain that experience and use it on my CV that I'm currently working here. And that's what we are offering on a platter of gold. Okay, to say leverage the analytics in getting started into tech space. Now, level 2, weekly mentorship sessions where we bring in experts from the industry to come and speak to you. All right, to get you, started on your desired career, on how to get started and all that. So we have the weekly mentorship session. And number 8, on the job support. On the job support. So, like I said, you're going to you're not looking for entry level jobs, you're looking for experience level jobs for you to get the pay, the gratification of you learning the skill and getting a job. We're not looking at entry level, we're looking at, an experience level job. Now, one thing we've seen over the years is we've seen that people get the job and they feel not so confident that they could do it, that they can do it, even though they did very well in the interview, they got an offer, okay, and they start the job. There's this confidence, they lack the confidence of getting started. So what we do also is on the job support. So we never leave you alone. So from the start of you entering into analytics till for life, all right, you're always going to be getting some support from, you can always reach out to us for support and all that. So you get that on the job support, okay, getting you started, getting you warmed up into your new role, essentially just providing that training wheel that you need to get it started. So now what we're doing this year differently, all right, is going back to the same mission that I mentioned earlier. How do we get more people into the tech space? And it's simple. By doing what? Guaranteeing people interviews. So 1 month upon completing the training program, we are guaranteeing you we guarantee you interviews, that you will get interviews, okay? And that interview will lead to your job. And now, how do we guarantee you interviews? Number 1, we are doing body mentorship hub. We have the body mentorship hub where we have people, like I mentioned earlier, we had over 2,000 people that have gotten jobs in the last 3 years plus that Analytics has been in existence. We've done over 2,000 plus. And these people are coming back to help people get started. All right. So people that never believed, like the pharmacist that I showed you, looking at Toyosi, all right, looking at her and saying that, oh, this girl, okay, is it Tosin? Sorry, Tosin. All right, looking at her and saying that she got a job, never worked as a pharmacist, currently work as a benefit analyst. All right. How she was able to achieve this, she's coming back to say that, okay, do you know what? I want to help other people that are currently, now in my shoes before, I never knew what they could do, but now I want to help them achieve it. Okay, so the body mentorship hub is coming up, and that's what we're running. Now, number 2 is an enhanced internship experience. So it's good. The experience you get from working on the project is going to be more immersive than ever before. All right. Now, number 3 is the partnership that we've secured some, and we are still working on achieving some. So if you're currently in the UK, you're in Canada, you're in the US, or you're in any other country, in Germany, in Europe in general, all right, we have currently secured some partnership with some tech recruiters. All right. And essentially what we're trying to do is to recommend you for these jobs that they post. All right. So we have partnership in the sense that when they have a job posting, they're reaching out to us and we are recommending our participants as experienced staff for them to take on this role. So when we recommend you, we prepare you for the interview and, eventually you're likely going to get a job. So this is what we're doing to guarantee that you get a job upon completing the training program. Okay, at least a month after, we guarantee you that you're going to be having interviews in order for you to get the job or your desired outcome. All right, so those are the partnerships that we're currently working on to ensure that at the end of everything, get more Africans into the tech space. All right, so some of the projects you get to work on, like I mentioned earlier, these are real life projects that has been tailored to learning experience. So take, for example, we have Future Tail Hotel Reservation case study. This is an actual case study based on an actual hotel, but obviously the information has been adjusted for your learning purpose. So you see this, just going to read this briefly. A significant number of hotel reservations are called off due to cancellation or no-shows. All right. And that's one thing you need to understand. Hotel will definitely get cancellation. How do they preempt when will somebody cancel their reservation? All right. So if the hotel, currently, if you're looking at Airbnb, for example, okay, Airbnb, when you book an Airbnb, okay, all right, and you cancel, you get charged, okay, you get your money refunded, but you also get like a service charge, okay, but sometimes it's usually like 10%, sometimes 5% of whatever you paid, 10 to 5 to 10% of whatever you paid, all right. But the Airbnb host, the person that owns the platform, the person that owns the application, is just getting about 5% or 10%. All right, which is not significant. But you, on the other hand, you're happy to call it off because you're getting a big chunk of the money back, and the host is getting just about 10%. So this is what the hotel was suffering. And the key thing that they were trying to see is, all right, they were losing a lot of money, obviously. Okay, so rather than getting 100% of the money, they're getting 10%, and they're having a vacant house. Okay, so they were not making a lot of money. So essentially, you have been employed as a data scientist to explore the data and provide some insights and recommendation. That's one thing you're going to be working on. Real life case study. Jumbo e-commerce, the same thing. As a data scientist, you have been tasked with developing a sales business dashboard that provides a comprehensive regional overview of the company's operational and includes a sales forecast. Okay, all right. Same thing with Dinosaurs and Electronic. These are all real life case studies that you get to work on. Solis Online Project, Crusader Homes. This one is a very interesting one also. See this, you are responsible for analyzing and preparing data training and selecting appropriate machine learning algorithms and testing and validating the model's performance. So essentially, let me just read about it. Crusader goal is to utilize vast amount of data they have gathered on properties to generate pricing estimates that are more accurate and reliable, improving business operations and providing their customers with better information. So you're not going to be getting projects on just sales, or you're going to be getting you are going to be working on projects across different sectors, from supply chain to logistics to hotelier to to e-commerce and so on and so forth. All right. So you will have one on health tech, on customer segmentation using unsupervised learning. So the goal of this project is to segment customer based on their purchasing behavior and demographic information. We would use unsupervised learning techniques to identify a group of customers with similar behavior and characteristics. So this is, what we call customer segmentation. So this is the kind of project you're going to work on that would put you in the limelight in your application process. All right. So you also work on computer vision application that will get you to build your own computer vision application and get you started on working on different. You can see them moving. All right. So you see all of them. You can see the guy here. All right, with his hand, raising up his hand. So basically, that's exactly what you're seeing on my screen. When you take a look at me, it has detected my face, my hand, and my body, and can able to do it by itself.
Build my hand.
So you see here, this is the computer vision application that is detecting a full body pose.
I'm glad you can see it all over my face. Like, I'm very grateful that I could do this. Like, who could have thought?
Who would have thought?
Thank you, Fibela. Thank you. Thank you, the analytics. I love it.
All right, fabulous. So those are the kind of projects you get to work on. You get to work on. Awesome, awesome. So how to get remote jobs as a data scientist. We have a full story on that, on how you can actually get remote jobs as a data scientist. And working fully remote. We had another session yesterday. Once that is up and running, you would also get access to those videos. All right. So essentially, there are different ways you can actually get remote jobs and work fully remote. Okay. So just once you click on the link, so once you click on this, all right, it will take you to a YouTube channel, where you can see this. This is part of the videos. You can see me on the top right corner. and I'm sure you're walking you through the steps you could actually take to get remote jobs. Okay. So well found, we have Glassdoor, we have LinkedIn. So I walked us through how to use LinkedIn to get remote jobs. Okay, so you see, and this is me walking you through the steps. So all you need, honestly, today is just to go here, click on the link, and you get access to getting those opportunities, okay, to see where these opportunities lie. All right, so some of the sites that you're popular with LinkedIn, Glassdoor, Built-in, Indeed, Remote.co, Wellfound, Upwork. These are some of the very good sites you can actually use in getting remote jobs. All right. So, like I said, always comes back to this. It always is impossible until somebody else gets it done. Okay. So I'm going to play Oluwatosin real quick. Okay. And you get to see his own experience or hear his own experience.
Hello,
So you see, Tosin landed a job as a fraud analyst. Okay. After analytics
my name is
structured learning.
Oluwatosin. Hello, my name is Oluwatosin Ogunleye. With the August DA cohort with Tenalytics. I just got a job as a fraud analyst. So my role as a fraud analyst is to investigate and prevent fraud on credit cards. I got this job after I joined Tenalytics. The mentorship session, the CV review sessions, these sessions were very, very helpful in me getting this role. And I had an interview prep as well. All these were highly instrumental in me getting the job, and I'm really grateful for Tenalytics. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome. You see, these are guys that went through the same training program, and that's the difference between you and these guys. Okay, we have a ton of other people that have gotten their own jobs. Okay, working for top 10 companies across the world. So join the next cohort starting on the 2nd of March 2024, and we still have a discount running for the first 20 people to register for each of the program. First 20 people to register. Okay, so recommended discounted amount of $600, okay, and 500 or the equivalent of £500. And you can pay in 2 installments. You can pay in 2 installments. Now, the full amount does not allow you to pay in full installment. But once you secure your position with using the discounted amount, you could always pay in 2 installments. Okay. So rather than paying £600 or $600, I mean, okay, you could actually pay in 2 installments of $450 and $150. Okay, and in pounds, £500, you can pay in £375 and £125 equivalent. So this allows you to pay in installments. You using the discount, you paying in discount, the discount amount allows you to pay in 2 installments. Now, guess what? The second payment, you can actually make the second payment 1 month into the program. 1 month into the program. So you can complete the second payment 1 month into the training program. So when you talk about flexibility, this is exactly what we're talking about. Okay. So discounted amount of $600 or £500, and you can pay in 2 installments of $450. Then second payments 1 month into the training program. You can balance up the $150. £375 for first installment, and you can pay the £125 in the second installment 1 month into the training program. 1 month into the training program. All right. So I'll walk you through the payment, how you can make a payment. But we have some people in the house that would like to speak with you. Okay, so we have Brahima, do you want to take over from there? Do you want to take over from there? So I allow you to do that.
All right, so we have Omolara and Emmanuel on the call. So Omolara, can you use the raise hand icon so I can make you a co-host?
You search for her and just make her the co-host.
Yeah. All right, so Omolara, hi. Hello?
Omolara
yeah,
Adeoye.
Good evening. Good evening.
All right.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, Omolara.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me? Please confirm if you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear
Hello?
you clearly.
Okay.
Yes,
Good
we can
evening,
hear you
everyone.
clearly. Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, my name is Omolara. Okay, I would like to share my experience based on my learning on with analytics. Okay, I got to know about analytics. I think it's almost a year now. Like I've been searching face for a very good place on Facebook, on Instagram, but I stumbled on analytics and like a lot of them, but I found analytics to be very okay because I joined the master. Like I've watched the video over and over again and I saw it very educative. That was why I enrolled with analytics. And the program I enrolled in is data science. And the experience has been awesome. It has been awesome going through Excel, Tableau, Python, and the rest. It has been very awesome. And you know, during the classes in analytics, we have very good instructors. Even if you have a question during the live session, in fact, you'll be asked to share your screen so that you can be in class and you can respond to what everybody is doing. And when it comes to the LinkedIn optimization, they are always there. Recommendation letter, if you need a recommendation letter for you to get a job or something, is there. CV tailoring, you need to tailor your CV to the best in the industry. You can always get it here from Analytics. And the program has been so much helpful to my career. You know, I joined this cohort in November. Yeah, I joined it in November. I'm still on the training and it has been awesome. I'm better. I'm far better than when I joined. I'm far better. And I'm very grateful to Analytics. And I would like to recommend Analytics to everyone. Even before I joined the cohort in November, like I have friends that were looking for where to do this together. Even before I joined at all, I've recommended Analytics to them due to the master classes and YouTube videos I've watched about them. It has been an awesome one. So I'd like to recommend Analytics to everyone. And that's all for now. Thank you, everyone.
All right, so thank you very much for that, Omolara. Thank you for coming up to speak this evening. Right. So we also have Oluwami Shegun rather. So hi Shegun, how are you doing? Hi Emmanuel, how are you doing? Yeah, me said it speaking.
Yeah, good evening, all. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you clearly. Good evening to you.
That's great. I'm happy to be here to share my thought and to inspire the people that want to join analytics. I joined analytics. I got to know about analytics through Facebook, and I was really confused. I watched a Femena video that fateful day, and I was so inspired. And I joined the team at the September cohort. Currently now, I'm doing my internship. Please, I will advise everyone that is in this call that participated in this master class to join analytics is worthwhile. Brief about myself. I'm working in one of the multinational beverage company as an engineer. I'm not even to any tech, but I can tell you today that I can boast of myself as data scientist. And in terms of LinkedIn optimization, tailoring my CV, in fact, I really one of the beneficiary of that. Because in my office, I think that should be second month to this program. There's a post that came out in my office. Can you still hear me? Yeah, there's a post that came out in my office, and it relates to tech, whereby you need to create a dashboard in my own department to visualize and track some activities. And due to the confidence I've gotten from analytics, with the ideas I have, tailor my CV using ChatGPT. And I tend that just like a play. I was called from my head office in Lagos, though I'm based in Aba, Nigeria here. I was called to have a visual interview, and I did very well. My colleagues in my department, they didn't believe it as much when they sent for me for interview, virtual interview, and I got it right, and I was picked. And that was one of the benefits I can't forget, based on that I'm still on training. And now I can say that it's been wonderful. I really appreciate the analytics. As I said, I'm on my internship now, and it's really worthwhile. That the program has helped my career a lot. And I can, as I told you, I'm an engineer. Now transition to tech gradually. I cannot say fully, but I'm really, really happy about that. And I'm using the opportunity to tell the people in master class here that it's worth it. You really enjoy it. Thank you very much for having me. Thank you.
All right, so thank you very much for that, Segun. Thank you very much for sharing your experience. So, Efemina, that would be all from the students.
All right. Okay. I can see some people send me messages. Okay. I'm just going to I'm going to show you how to make the payment first of all. I see somebody's message. I understand you truly, but there are so many things that we have done to improve on the training program, and that's really what has led to the increase. Okay, apologies for that. But anyways, that's just the value that you're going to get is going to be way beyond what I can actually. It's going to be beyond. You can see what we've done: link optimization to civil review to link up, and we're also going as far as able securing partnership with recruitment firms, recruitment agencies. I mean, all right, so that you're getting that interview process, you're getting interviews, all right. So it's not just a regular train and hope for you to get a job. The whole goal for us is to get you that job, either when you're doing the training program or even after the training program. A month, a couple of months, 1, 2 months after the training program, you are getting the job. So once you click on the link, Mainstack link, you click on this link, mainstack.enroll file. Okay, once you click on that link, all right. All right, so you can see get access to all the program brochures in there. Click on that, it takes you to the page where you can get all the brochures. Okay, so you see this is data science over here, where it's full stack data science. Okay, so this is the brochure that gives you a very detailed look of what you will get from the training program. Okay, so the curriculum, we know we're going to do introduction to Excel, to introduction to data science, introduction to Excel, where you're going to be learn what are you going to be learning in Excel. Okay, so you see here Excel interface, Excel shortcuts, basic operation in Excel, cell referencing, data cleaning, data analysis toolkit, and you're also going to do statistics, types of statistics, statistical visualization, descriptive statistics, distribution, differential statistics, and so on and so forth. Okay. And those are the things that you will learn. Forecasting, we did forecasting today. So we have other techniques that you're going to learn. So I talked about the naive approach, moving average, exponential smoothing, forecast function, forecast sheet. We did forecast sheet today briefly. All right. But these are more practical, more elaborate sessions where you get to work in it. So you also work with linear forecast with seasonality, composition, and so on. You're going to work with SQL, you're going to do projects in Python, and you see it's very, very encompassing, okay? And you do computer vision, face detection, post detection, and detection, and other computer vision projects. Okay, so this basically gives you a road through of what you would learn during the training program. All right, now moving on from there, to make the payments is as simple as just scroll down to where you have initial and full payment. Okay, click on data science, full stack data science. All right, click on that, and it's going to take you to the page where you can make your payment. So you see the discounted price is what you see there, £500. Okay. All right, so which is what you have there, £500. So if you want to pay the full amount, you can just go ahead to make the payment, proceed to pay, and it takes you to the page where you can put in your name, your email, and all the things that you need. Okay, all right. But take for example, if you want to just pay part of the money, Okay, so all you need now to secure your position is £375. All right, you could actually put in 375, okay, and make that payment. 375 and make the payment. But if today you say you have let's say you have £300 today, all right, you don't have up to 375, let's say you even have 280 or you have 300, you can actually pay the minimum amount you can pay is 250. All right. So you can actually pay 250 today to secure your position. The key thing is to secure the discount. Because eventually once we get 20 people, the price you see online is going to revert back to the original price of £625. All right. So what our advice is, even if you don't have up to 375, you could actually pay 250 today to secure your discount. And the key thing is once you've made payment for once you've made payment for 250, all right. So the price currently is 375. All right. So the price currently is 375 for the first payment. Okay. But now you pay 250. All right. You pay 250. All right. It remains what? 125. Okay. So you have 125 to balance for the first amount. All right. So now you would have about 2 weeks in order for you to balance this before the start of the training program. Okay. So you can pay 250 now. And in the next 2 weeks, you can balance this before the start of the training program. The program is starting on the 2nd of March. Okay. 2nd of March, 2024. Okay. So you can actually pay 250 today, secure your discount, and pay the balance, before the start of the training program. So that's one thing you can actually do in order for you to secure that discount. So don't wait till the nick of time to the end of the month before you secure. Most times the slots are taken, and a lot of people come back to say, "Oh, please, I didn't have enough time to make payment." Right? Hence the reason why we allowed you to be able to pay a certain amount in order for you to actually secure a discount, and you have enough time to pay the balance. So that's exactly what you need to do. Once you make the payment, you'll see balance. You'll see your upload your receipt. So click here to upload your receipt. Okay, and you can put in the email, the type of payment. Was it initial payment? Was it a full payment? Was it a balance payment? So you could just pay the full payment, or you could pay initial payment. Click on next, and so on and so forth. That's the way you go through everything that you have there. So essentially, all right, that's all you need to do. So just click on data science. Okay, it takes you to this page. You can pay your full amount or your initial deposit or something to secure your discount, and you are good to go. All right. So let me see if I have a couple of questions in there, and I think we'll just call it a day from there. Okay, I can see somebody raise up their hand. Oba Leke's iPhone. Oba Leke's. You can unmute yourself. Yes.
Hi, how
Hello.
you doing?
Very good. Thank you.
First of all, I do want to appreciate you for all the things you've actually done, and I know it's not easy, and you setting up a class like this. And let me just get the question straight. I'm actually trying to make payment, and I'm trying to do CAD, which is Canadian dollar. But I wanted to secure the class. I mean, because what you just said right now is showing me I have to pay 450. I can't go less than 450, which is the initial payment you have to do. So I wanted to throw in like 250 in first, then balance the payment. But it's not letting me do that.
So for the guys in Canadian dollars, so it's going to convert it, hence the reason why you're seeing that as 400. So let me think of a way you can go about it. We actually don't have a Canadian account at this point in time. We don't like to put it up because Canada has a lot of what do you call it? There's a lot of, with the way to send the money in Canada is a bit tricky, especially for the business account and all that. So okay, where would you currently have 250, correct? Or is it 200 you say you have?
Yeah.
Okay. trying to see if it's possible. So we actually just take the minimum amount. So okay, do you know what? Send a message. Are you on the group chat? Are you on the group chat?
Yeah, I can leave you a message on that.
Okay, just send a message to any of the admins. Okay, any of the you would be able to chat with the admins. Okay, just send a message to ask for Nene. Okay, she's the one in charge of payments and all that, and she'll be able to get back to you. Okay, or better still, okay, let me just send you. Let me get your name, Oba Liki. So you could just send her an email right from there. So Nene at gmail.com. Okay, so Nene at analytics.org. So what I have there? No. So I'll send it to you. I'll send to you a DM here on Zoom. So you check it out, okay? Just send that email and we'll take it up from there. All right.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you.
No problem at all. All right, guys. So, well, like I mentioned, guys, once the 20 people gets filled up here, okay, the system automatically reverts to you the full amount. You won't be able to make any deposit or something or pay instrumental payment. So, if you want to secure a position now, please secure it. I really want to join the program, but so like I said, a lot of add-ons were added to the training program to give you the value that you desire. Can we make payments via Interact? Unfortunately, that's Obaleke. Unfortunately, not yet. Okay. That's something that we are currently working on for the guys in Canada. Okay. All right. I don't see any questions in the chat. Can we pay in Naira? 100%. So once you click on the link, it takes you to your pay. What you see would be Naira, and you can make payments in Naira. All right. So we have to okay. Okay. Okay, Shagun had a question. I'm not sure Shagun is here anymore. All right. So, anyways, all the things, I wanted to keep it under 2 hours. This is 2 hours and 30 minutes. So I don't want to take you guys, I don't want to take too much of your time. Well, essentially, the training program is going to start on the 2nd of March. If you want to take advantage of the classes, you want to take advantage of the opportunity of you getting started in data science, you could actually get these jobs. All right. Either you're in Canada, you're in the US, you're in the UK, people are getting these jobs, okay? And I would want to implore you to also take out time to do the same thing. So on that note today, guys, this is where I'm going to call it a day. Thank you very much for joining the session. Thank you for taking out the time. I hope you had a wonderful time, and I hope you learned something new today. So thank you very much. Have a wonderful weekend. Have a wonderful week ahead, okay? Some of you guys, I'm very sure you guys are in the weekend already. So have a wonderful day ahead, and looking forward to seeing you all in the main class. All right. Cheers and bye for now, guys. Bye, everyone.